Hey guys, what's up? I'm Christian Taylor, and today is my review of the Samsung Galaxy S6. Now I know this phone is slightly old news, but I've never really done a phone review before, and I just got the Galaxy S6, and I really like it, so I just wanted to do a review for you guys. So with that said, let's get right into it. The phone's box is a simple but nice white. Included in the box is the Samsung Galaxy S6, the fast charging brick, the USB cable, Samsung earbuds, a stupid amount of quick start guides and warranty cards, and a SIM ejection tool. Some variants may not include the SIM ejector tool. I have the 64GB Pearl White Verizon variant. The phone is currently running Android 5.1.1 with Samsung's TouchWiz. I have the Google Now launcher running on it as well. Alright, so let's jump right in with the hardware. This year, Samsung opted to go with a more premium glass and aluminum build, compared to previous plastic builds. This is something I've really been enjoying, as I always thought the previous Galaxy phones felt extremely cheap for the price tag. As a result, however, the removable battery and micro SD card slots were removed, and that's something I'll touch on a little bit later. On the back of the phone we have the camera, the flash, and some other sensors, including a heart rate sensor. The protruding camera lens is a bit much, and you'll definitely want a case to protect it. The lens sticks out a bit more than lens on the iPhone 6s. I recommend Urban Armor gear for your case. It covers the protruding lens so you can safely set your phone down flat without risking scratching your precious lens. On the bottom of the phone we have the headphone jack, the charging port, the microphone for calling, and the speaker. On the front we have some more sensors, the call speaker, the front-facing camera, and then we have the capacitive buttons on the bottom and the home button, which is also a fingerprint sensor. Now let's talk about performance. The performance on this phone is buttery smooth. Apps launch speedy fast and it handles multitasking like a champ. Really the only complaint I've seen on some other reviews is despite the super powerful 8-core processor and 3GB of RAM, you do experience occasional lag, and I've definitely noticed that. If I'm playing an intensive 3D game while downloading or installing another app, this lag stands out. Also, the fingerprint reader is nice, but not nearly as nice or accurate or fast as the Touch ID on the iPhone 6s. Many times I have to scan my finger twice, and it usually takes a second or two to process my fingerprint. As you can see on the iPhone 6s, it is almost instant when I put my finger on the button. Now let's talk about the camera. With 16 megapixels, 4K video recording, and its ability to manually adjust the controls, it's one great camera. The front-facing camera is nice and wide angle, so you can fit all of your friends in the photo when taking group selfies. I also love the double tap the home key to get to the camera shortcut. I've gotten used to it and use it regularly. It's a great way to get to the camera when you're in a hurry, and it actually works, unlike on the iPhone where you gotta putter around with turning the screen on and then swipe up and hope it catches the gesture and tap the camera, and seriously Apple, nobody wants to deal with that. So double tap to get to your camera, definitely a go. My only complaints about the camera are the poor slow-mo. It doesn't stand a chance against the slow-mo on the iPhone 6s. It honestly is pretty sad. I mean, come on Samsung, this is 2015 and your slow-mo looks like it's 20 FPS at 240p. The battery life on this phone is less than satisfactory, and this is where I had to really bring this phone review down to 4 out of 5 stars. Now for heavy usage, I find myself needing to charge my phone 2 times a day. And that's just ridiculous considering the phone sports a 2,550 milliamp hour battery. Now this is just embarrassing. And I know the phone has a lot to push. It's got a 1440p display, it's got the LEDs of the capacitive button, I have the vibration turned on for the keyboard so it vibrates when I tap it. Of course, all of that takes battery life, but still Samsung, come on, I get like 4 hours of screen on time. Now, Android 6.0 is going to come out next month for the S6, and I'm excited to update, and I'm hoping that Android Doze will definitely help me to get more battery life, because right now that is my least favorite feature about this phone, and you're definitely going to want to carry around an external battery with you at all times. Now the display is where the Galaxy S6 absolutely crushes any other smartphone. With its 1440p display and Gorilla Glass 4, watching media is an absolute joy. The screen saturation is cranked up in typical Samsung fashion, but it's something I personally enjoy, and if you don't enjoy all the saturation, you can definitely tone it down in the settings. Now, they made the display in such a way where it feels like I'm almost not looking at a screen. You can't see any pixels, and as I already mentioned, the Gorilla Glass 4 is solid. I don't have a screen protector on my phone yet. I have a nice glass one coming in the mail today, but I've had this phone for about a week with no screen protector, and I've dropped it several times and put it through several things, not intentionally, but just real life usage, where I think I would have scratched the screen, and so far it's held up perfectly with absolutely no scratches. Now we're going to talk about some other smaller features of the phone that I would like to point out. Now after all, this is a phone, and the call quality is about average for what I would expect. I have mine on Verizon's 4G LTE network. This phone comes with a lot of bloatware as part of TouchWiz. Now it's definitely less than in previous models, but it's still there. Some apps you can uninstall, and some apps you can only disable. Now a main example of this is the Amazon app comes pre-installed and you cannot uninstall it. Now this isn't a problem for me as I use Amazon all the time and I would have the app downloaded on my phone anyway. But if you hate Amazon or something, maybe this phone isn't for you. At first I thought the S-Health app was another useless bloatware app, but I do actually enjoy being able to monitor and record my heart rate. Now, the sensor doesn't work every time, and I'm sure it isn't the most accurate, but it's a nice added feature that I enjoy. Now, as mentioned earlier, the removable battery and micro SD card slots are gone. Now, this doesn't really bother me because I'm not the type of guy who's going to carry around a removable battery in my pocket and have to make sure it stays charged and stuff. Now, for the storage, this isn't a problem for me as I have a 64GB model. I got it while Verizon had the double your storage for free sale, so I paid for a 32GB phone and got a 64GB phone. And this is a huge upgrade for me coming from a 16GB iPhone 4S. So for me, I basically have all the storage in the world. I'm probably never going to use it all up. And 64 gigs of non-removable storage is just fine by me. So in the end, I'm more than satisfied with the Galaxy S6. I would give it a 4 out of 5 star evaluation, and I would recommend it to anyone who's looking into buying a nice Android phone. Now while it's not perfect, and there definitely are some improvements that can come on the S7, which is coming out very soon, it is one solid phone. So be sure to let me know what you guys thought of this review. If you liked it and you want to see one of the iPhone 6s, definitely be sure to go bonkers on that like button. And as I always say, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and comment. I'll catch you guys next time.